Hey, welcome to another Valley Forged. Today, I'm making some mirror. This is super cool. I'm so glad I found out about this. I'm going to tell you where I found out and show you actually how you can make your own frames as well and how you can get double use out of it. This is an amazing project. So, I got no intro, so let's just get into it. Well, first thing I'm going to tell you is do not be in a hurry. That's just, and I'll show you why not to be in a hurry from all my mistakes. But that's really the hardest part about this whole thing. It's really the easiest and most satisfying project. You could do so much with it. Mirrors are cool. When I first started working on CO2 lasers, like I had 250-watt CO2 lasers at my disposal with plenty of wood. It was amazing. Maker spaces are cool. So I saw this artist, and he was so good. And he had this amazing art that he was doing on the back of mirrors that I just always kind of, you know, said, well, that's so good, I'm not going to actually do it. But then years later, here I am coming back to it, and I'm really glad I did. Instantly, I had a client already wanted one, and they needed some branding for the store. We're going to end up doing a backlight, but this is just super cool. I made several here, but as you can see on the screen, I made this, and first try came out wonderful, but again, I took my time. Obviously, it's a mirror, so you're. Oh, and I also wanted to say these are really perfect, not just for the mirror itself and making this cool logo and everything. If you sell hats or earrings like I do, this is really good to have that you can put in your booth. You can have your logo on it. You can have your do something like I did here. And so people are looking at their earrings or their hat or whatever. You can put whatever message you want. This was just a test. I'll probably use it at my booth because I like this sort of thing. But people love to look at themselves. And so even if you just have it at your booth and you don't sell any of that stuff, people will come by, take a gander, it'll help. And you don't have to do this particular size. You could do any size you want as long as you could fit it on your laser. Again, unlimited project. What I'm doing here is so the basics that you need to just, go to sleep, use your imagination, and kind of come up with whatever it is that's your favorite thing and be able to put it on a mirror. But I do suggest it. Put a little saying in your house or something that you're going to see where your mirror is at. It's really cool. All right, it's not that complicated, but I think it is important to follow the steps because, why waste like I did? First thing you're going to do, you need to get the mirrors. Now, I just went to Amazon and bought these because I wanted the beveled edges. I'm sure you could get mirror anywhere. But I did like the safety of having these beveled edges where I didn't feel so weird about handling them, especially because this is my first time working with it, right? So I bought these 12 by 12s. They end up being like between $3 and $4 a piece. I see that you can get these cheaper some other places on Amazon. But these were great. I've used about half of them, and I have no issues. They worked super well. And then for the frames, and like I said, I'm going to show you how to make your own frame later in this video. But what I did is I already buy these in bulk, so I already have a bunch. I have the longer ones, the bigger ones that I just showed you. Was it my last video or recently, like how to make the shadow box of the Lord's Prayer cross. And I give those away as gifts. I sell them like crazy. In fact, my family just asked me for 3 more because the aunt came over and took the one off my mom's wall. And then my uncle's like, I want one in teal. And, that's just how these things go. And I don't mind. I'm glad I'm able to do this sort of thing. And it shows you the popularity of your own thing, right? So that other people are like, oh, I really want that in your family. You realize, hey, maybe a lot of people are going to want this. Well, that's how it's going to be with these mirrors, because once somebody sees that you can customize this, the sky's going to be the limit. But so I like I said, you can get these as low as $5 per frame, which is really cheaper than making it yourself when it comes to time and effort and everything like that. So it's an easy way to go, but there is a reason why you're going to want to make your own frame, and I'm going to get to that in a bit. But you're also going to want to have these. So it's so easy. These are shadow box frames. They work perfect. You can either put the mirror all the way to the front, or you can recess it to the back, and that's pretty neat too. And like I said, you can get them as cheap as $5 because they'll go on sale for buy one get two free, and this a 2-pack for $30. So basically, you're paying $10 for a 2-pack. Ends up being $5 a piece. Plus, you get the Michael's rewards and all that. So you today, without no matter what though, you can get, if you go to their bulk order, you get them for $7 a piece today, and they go on sale all the time. So this is something that I do, and you can get your own frames, thrift store, you go to garage sales, there's frames everywhere. But a 12 by 12 worked perfect for the 12 by 12 frames that I got from Amazon. And so then all I had to do after that was go to Lightburn and put in the logo. So of course this is the logo here, and it has to be mirrored. That is super important. Now, I have made the mistake of accidentally mirroring one part of it, and then when I went up to arrange, I accidentally hit flip vertical on part of it. It's one of the mistakes that I made. So just make sure that it's all mirrored correctly. So arrange, flip horizontal, and there it goes. There's other ways to do this, but I'm going to show you that one. What I did is I made 2 layers. One of them is the 12 by 12 square. So then what I did is I cut this out in foam as a 12 by 12 square. And you could use cardboard, you could use a big piece of paper, as long as it's over 12 by 12. And make sure you put it on magnets and it's stuck down, whatever, tape. Make sure it is not going to move once you cut it out, because your laser is going to have to go right back to that same exact spot. So I cut it out, and then I stuck the mirror in there. Now I put mine on little risers because I like a little gap between the mirror and your honeycomb bed so that you're not getting some flashback. It just works better. It'll work no matter what, but it just works better this way, in my opinion. And I like to raise my my material whenever it does work that way, and I'm not in a super hurry. So then once you put the mirror in there, upside down, of course, because you're going to be etching off that material on the back of the mirror, and that's why it has to be mirrored. Then you stop the output for the square and turn on the output for your actual design. And this is how it's going to look. It's all in fill there. And so then I just hit engrave, and basically it's already done. When you take a look at it, you're going to be able to see through the parts that you etched out. And you could put a light behind that, and now already you have a light box, a beautiful thing. So what I did for this client is I did one of each. I did one that was completely see-through so they could make a light box out of it if they wanted to. And the second one I painted, which is the one you saw when we first started here. I'll post that up again. And how did I get the 2 colors? Well, pretty obvious, but to some people, but I taped off the SLO, the slow. All right. And I just spray painted the back of the rest of it. Right. And then I waited for that to dry. I peeled off the tape that says slow, and then I just painted. Now, once you do that, you don't have to retape the rest of it because it's already painted. So if you paint over it again, it's not going to show through. In fact, it might even help to make sure that anything you missed, little gaps, are covered with something, and it does look better. But once you take the tape off, the SLO will get painted, and then it's done. And it's really easy to do two colors with this. And super happy with the way it turned out. Client super happy. Everybody's happy. And like, again, this is my first one. So, and it won't be the last. Once you start doing this, you're going to love it so much and get your imagination flowing. You're really gonna enjoy this project. I think it's gonna work on pretty much every laser. I bet you could even do this with a 5 watt fairly simply. Just, maybe take one of the mirrors and make that your test mirror and just figure out your settings. But yeah, I don't think you're going to have too much trouble on most lasers, which is nice. It's a project that will work on like when I do my leather stuff, almost every laser can do that. I do try and find some projects that almost everybody can do, just so you don't have to buy a 40-watt laser to be able to actually do some pretty cool stuff. So if what I do is I take out the glass from the frame, and then I add the mirror, because once you put the mirror and the glass in front of it, it doesn't look that great. You just want it to be mirror, which is wonderful. It works out perfect. But what do you do with that glass that's left over? And here's the part where I'm going to get to making your own frame. Our friends over at Clack Shack make a frame file, right? And I bought that one, and I thought, oh yeah, I'm just going to make my own frame. And then I realized, well, I've got the perfect frames. There's no reason to go through all that trouble. And I'm going to leave a description to his video, which shows you how to make the frame and his things on. He does his mirror a little different. He hand painted it, which is great. And there's, like, again, this is so cool. So many opportunities here. But I took that glass, and what I did is I just painted that in gold. So I used I love metallic gold paint. It just covers so well. It's so weird. You would figure regular paint, regular colors would cover so much better than some specialty color like gold. But that gold, man, it works so well. So I took the gold paint and I painted the whole mirror, and then I put it on the laser after it dried. And here's where settings will matter a little bit more. You don't want to run it too hot, so you want to run at a pretty good pace with high power. Beings that you don't want it to get hot, because the paint is going to heat up. So mine did a great job with that. Everything looked wonderful. So you ended up with this see-through with gold all around it. It looks beautiful. Where I made the mistake, and again, the measure once, cut twice. Wait, that's me. I'm a measure once, cut twice kind of guy. But don't do that. Strike that, reverse it, as Willy Wonka would say. What I did was I made this beautiful thing. I taped it. I was all ready to do the paint, and then I painted the front side. That's just totally dumb. Luckily, I don't feel too bad. It was the extra piece of glass I had. But I feel a little dumb. All right. Another problem that I did is I didn't mirror this one. Now looks like expensive, but it's not. This is $7 I got from Hobby Lobby. So I'll go get another one because I think this is a great way to go. It already has the hang-up thing, reasonably cheap. It looks great from this side. And you're not going to make a frame for this. It already comes with it. So this would have been nice for, using this at your booth or something. It's already set. It looks beautiful. Whatever. I gotta go get another one. But that's just how I am. I get in a hurry. I make dumb mistakes. This is such an easy project, and so as long as you take your time, think through it, make sure you mirrored it, make sure you're doing it on the right side, it's gonna work great. So again, over at Clack Shack, ability to make your own frame with a file. Now, once you do that, then you can make a frame for that extra piece of glass that you got from the frame you bought or the frame you already have. So that makes it, yeah, because if you get two out of one, then what are you going to do with that extra piece of glass? You will always have an extra one if you're using these frames. Plus, hey, you can customize the frame, and it's a nice thing to know how to do. So I will leave a link again to the video for Clack Shack because I want you to not only buy that frame thing to make frames, I also want you to know how to do it. So, and hey, let's always support each other's channels. I'm a big believer in that, creating community. Some of you out there need to start your own channels, and I don't care about competition. I'm more on the business side, but I highly recommend some of you out there do amazing work. Some people made the acrylic Lord's Prayer crosses that were absolutely beautiful. Things like that. I've seen some of my wallets come out that look better than the ones I do. Some of you need to get on YouTube, start making your own videos because you really do good work. And I love to see that. And I need more inspiration myself. I mean, I've got Ventari and Clack Shack, a lot of other great YouTubers out there doing great jobs. But I need more inspiration. I want to see more of you out there, not less. And there's no reason not to do it. It's super fun. Again, take your time, enjoy the process, use your imagination. Mirrors are fantastic. It's a great, easy project, and I hope to see some of your projects however possible. I need to come up with a better way to do that, but we've been talking about that. Anyways, let me know what I missed. I'm always going to miss something when making these videos, but I hope I got most all of it. Look at the top comment. I'll add something if there's a lot of questions about one particular thing. And let me know what you want to see. I've got lots of videos coming up, but I'm always looking forward to hearing from you. And I will see you in the next one. Love y'all.